Welcome back to the Hiding for Horrors podcast. We review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark,
I'm Elion.
and today, instead of reviewing a movie, we'll be getting together to give our list of the top 5 worst horror movies. Now, each list is based off each person's own personal preference. My list might have people on movies that you love, and your list probably has movies on that I love, but it's your list, and that's all that matters. Tuan is unable to join us today. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, but he has provided me with his list, so I'll be giving that as we go along. Let's kick this off. Elion, what is on your fifth spot for your top 5 worst horror movies?
I might get some hate for this, but I hated Hereditary.
Oh,
I hated
really?
it. I hated it with such a passion because I would like when I first watched it, the trailers really sold it on me because I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be really good. It was gonna be a new form of horror. But literally after the girl's head was chopped off, I fell asleep throughout the whole movie. I even
Tuan
went
will
back
be
to
so upset right now.
I bet he is. That's literally I fell asleep throughout in the movie theater. I went the next day since I during this time I was working at the theater. I was able to go watch it. I kept falling asleep, so I had to watch 30. Like I had to watch like in sequences of 30 minutes, and I was watching it. And I'm like, I don't get the
Do you
fucking
think it's
story.
because of the? I'll say, okay, that was my question. You didn't get the story.
I did not get the
I
story. I felt lost.
Yeah, I wasn't like too like hyped up to go see the movie either because I don't like folk horror. Like any horror movie that has to do with like folk legend or like folklore, I just don't like it. And I hadn't
Right,
watched it. I hadn't watched it until um Tuan and our former co-host reviewed it on the podcast. Like before
right,
then, I hadn't watched it, and I kind of like I enjoyed it, but it 100% wasn't worth all the hype. I was like, are we watching the right movie? Because I was expecting something like groundbreaking, earth shattering cinema, and I was like, this movie
right.
is like okay, like it's decent. And for Tawan's fifth spot, he has The Exorcist Believer. He says that I feel like this movie shows how not every franchise needs to be brought back, and especially how Blumhouse doesn't need to put David Gordon Green in charge of all of these reboots. They wasted Elaine completely, and the only thing they asked with this movie is, what if instead of one possessed little girl, there's two, and that just made it twice as bad. And for me, in my fourth spot, Black Christmas, the 2020, no, the 2019 remake, the third version. This is one of those movies I point to when I say I don't like remakes because it's a remake in name only. Like this, like besides it being on Christmas and being college kids, it has nothing to do with the original premise of the original movie. Like the 2005 or 4 remake felt was an actual remake. It kept in theme with the somewhat of the original movie, but this is completely something different, and it's all supernatural and it's weird, and I just don't get it. But Elion, what movie do you have in your fourth spot?
Um, for me, it's Talk to Me.
Talk to
Um,
me.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Number. So the reason for me is like I enjoy the story, like did I enjoy the movie? I actually really loved the film, but I just found it unreal. Like I didn't understand like the premise of like like the hand. It's supposed to be like what was it? What did they say? Like it was from a witch or a fortune teller that they were talking about, and
I
like
forgot, but I don't think they gave us too much detail.
yeah, but it was just like one. I kind of wish they went more in depth and how they got this. But I'm like, why would how did like two teenagers get this? And on top of that, it like there were sections that I really loved, but there were also some sections where I felt like I got where it was a little rushed, especially with the best friend. I or like even our protagonist. Well, would you say antagonist? No, protagonist, the girl. Like I understand that she was going through something, but it was just
Hmm.
like look, the film felt like it was everywhere. I understood it, but felt everywhere at the same time. And then on
I
top of
feel like
that,
they were trying to accomplish too much.
yes. And then on top of that, I was hoping the ending was her getting her sanity and killing herself instead of her friend. Like it was like her friend shooting or like pushing her to defend
I
her
mean,
brother.
but that wasn't confirmed. That's just like a theory. Like that could still be like that part wasn't confirmed. Like what happened to her at the end. We just know that she's inside the like
The
she's the
realm
ghost.
now,
Like yeah, but we don't know like how or what the circumstances were behind that.
right? No, I make you make a fair point.
And for Tawan in his fourth spot, he has the Final Destination. This would be the Final Destination 4. Wait, is that Final Destination 4? Oh shit. Alien, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry, I'm also
Okay,
working,
my
so
bad.
like,
Oh no, you weren't there because you dropped. Okay. Yeah, this is before.
oh, okay, okay.
In Tawan's fourth spot, he has the Final Destination. This would be the fourth Final Destination franchise, the one that revolved around the NASCAR racing disaster. And Tawan said, "This movie almost killed the franchise, but I'm thankful that we got five and now Bloodlines as our continuation. The studio pushing 3D gimmicks and one of the worst opening sequences. This is the worst of what this franchise has been, and I hope it never dips this low ever again." And in Tuan's third spot, we have Slenderman. This movie
You know
came
what's
out.
funny? I was just
this,
thinking about that.
Tuan says this movie came out way too late from when it eventually did release. But once we did get it, nothing about it worked. Terrible scares, cinematography, and performances all around terrible. I know it's probably not done earlier due to real life situations of the Slender Man murders, but this movie should have just been shelved if that was the case. Elian,
uh,
what do you have in
I,
your third spot?
my third spot. Did I do my fourth one yet? Yes, I did.
You did.
It's not Slender Man, but I do want to add something to that. What Twan said, yes, I definitely agree with him 100% full heartedly. I felt as if I wish it was more of a mystery than like you seeing the character. I just felt like they were doing too much. I honestly would prefer they actually followed the storyline of like the two girls that like were trying to stab the girl to death for Slenderman. I would have actually liked that one over what they had.
I think that was like
Um,
too close to home. That would have went over really bad.
yeah, but I mean, we have films and shows about Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and all that stuff. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
But for my third one, it's actually two films, if you don't mind. They're like
Yeah,
both in
what
my
other?
third spot. It's Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension, and it was actually the Final Destination as well.
Okay.
So for me, the Ghost Dimension, I felt like they were trying to do some 3D stuff, like trying to introduce, what's his name, Toby, so much. But I felt like they did so much CGI that it made the film so bad. And I don't know if you noticed it. I think anybody's noticed it.
Never seen it.
Oh, there's like some 3D kind of portions in scenes, and I'm like, I don't need that. And they made like Toby look like it's not even how Toby looked. It was just more of the fact that it was not needed. It was genuinely not needed. Like all the paranormal activities, we saw glimpses of Toby, but this one they showed the face. They showed like just horrible CGI, in my opinion, and it was just not needed. To be fair, Final Destination, what Juan said. On top of that, it was just I don't understand why they would make such a film. Like I think I think you and I talked about it that the film was during the time that 3D was coming out more in films,
Mhm.
but it just did not work. And even if I wanted to go watch it again, you could tell the movie was fully 3D and like it just does not give a better experience.
It's already outdated, which is sad.
Yeah.
Well, for me and my third spot, I have Hellraiser 4. This movie's interesting because the first three were so good. That first one is a slow British indie film that that hits all the right points. And then you come to the sequel, and the sequel is a little different. They got a bigger budget, still scary, still good. You get to the third one, it's like set in the modern times of like the early 90s, and it's like it's given the 90s punk rock vibe. It's cheesy, but it's still good. And then you get to this one, and it's bad. There's like time travel and like space involved, and there's like you're in the past. It's so much happening. And I'm like, this is a fucking Hellraiser movie. These are demons coming to torture people because they solved the puzzle. Why are we in space? Why are we in the future? Why are we going back centuries? What's happening? It's a
I've
bad movie,
never,
so that's why it's in my third spot.
I've never watched Hellraiser actually, and
Any of
the
them?
way that you, no, never. Um, but one thing that made me laugh right now is like when you were explaining it. I don't know if you remember Scream 4 when they were talking about all the stab movies and it goes to time travel and all that stuff. That's
Hmm.
all I could think about. Was like
I
it
mean,
sounded just
a lot of
insane.
franchises like go to space at some point. Only person who hasn't done it, well, Michael goes to space, and well, I guess Chucky. Like a lot of franchises have gone to space. The Leprechaun went to space.
I was gonna say
Jason
the
went to
Leprechaun.
space. Like they just they they ran out of shit and they started
I
sending people to
was scared.
space. But I want you to send us to your second.
Okay, this is gonna be a little controversial because it. I have a love hate relationship for this film. No, I have a love hate relationship with this one. Like I love it because I watch it as like as background sounds and background audio, and I do want to. I still want to review it. And my favorite line is still, guys, we are not. It is unfriended.
I
That's what I'm saying. I have
don't
a love hate.
I don't remember that movie. I remember parts. I know I saw it. I know I saw it twice. I remember the big plot thing that gets unraveled. I remember the big secret at the end. I remember who dies. Well, actually, I think I remember the movie. Never mind. Never mind.
Yes. So the thing for me was that I liked that it had some paranormal aspects, but they should have done it like Dark Web. I know there are two different things. Dark Web was more realistic and more of a like psychological
I
thriller
like
where
Dark Web.
it's
That's a
going to
good
happen.
one.
Yeah, Dark Web was a really good one. They helped unfriend it. To be fair, um, but that's one thing. I didn't like the paranormal aspect. I was hoping maybe it was just like a relative or something that they were doing this and they were just out for vengeance. That was one thing. Another thing that was really confusing, and anybody can please help me with this because I'm still trying to figure it out. Um, Apparently there was two versions of the film, and I've been trying to look for it, but I can't find it. For example, do you remember some of the characters or no?
I don't remember anybody's name,
Um,
unfortunately.
no, no, you're fine. I'm trying to remember. Val. Apparently, I remember there were some trailers where she was drinking the blood. That whole trailer is gone. I cannot find it anymore. And then in the movie, they kind of show it, or they imply that she drank bleach because there was bleach in the background. But that whole scene was gone. Yet it was still in movie theaters, but very selected movie theaters. And but the clips are gone. They're not even on the DVD set. Another thing that I didn't like was that, and that second option. It was saying that what's his name, Blair's boyfriend was the one that posted it. She was the one that recorded it. But then it was going like a mix up where like some of the scenes were just going back and forth. And in the film, they made it so messy to the point where it was just confusing at some parts. But another thing that I didn't like was that when they were trying to figure out what the police were saying in Val, she already had the police report. Like when she would search it up, it was already clicked on. Like it wasn't like they didn't make any like they didn't insinuate that she was already like what kind of field that she was working in or like what she was studying. but when she clicked on the link, it was purple, meaning that she already clicked on it. So I don't know if that was just a mistake
That
on the
was just
production.
that's probably just a mistake.
Yeah. But at the same time, I wish there was more connection with the characters, just because it was just messy. Like they
They
weren't
were
even ghetto. They were
friends.
just some
What more?
traveling hoes. No, they were some
They were.
traveling bitches. Uh, but no, there was just some, like, I was trying to figure out myself because, like, I was like, who posted the video? I know Blair recorded it. Obviously, there were so many insinuations. There
I'm
were so
pretty
many
sure they
reviews.
said I don't remember anyone's name. I forgot, but I'm pretty sure I remember.
Mitch,
But
there we go.
they, yeah, they do say that someone who posted the video, that part was revealed. And for my second spot, I have Friday the 13th, the new beginning, the fifth Jason movie. I had this one as number two because it's called The New Beginning. After four movies, Jason's dead. Now we are with Tommy Jarvis in this psych house with other teens, and this overweight kid just got murdered by some guy in an axe with an axe. Now we have Jason want to be walking. Now Jason, because Jason's dead, and the whole movie's supposed to be who done it, and then you have Tommy Jarvis walking around acting crazy the entire fucking movie for him not to be the killer. And then when you find out who the killer is, it's like, okay, what the fuck did this come from? Then we're left with an ending that suggests that Tommy has gone crazy and he might just end up being the next Jason, but then that's completely erased with the next movie. So the whole mystery party is null and void. So this movie just kind of like shot itself in the foot. Mm. And for Tawan's second spot, he has Ouija, the original Ouija. We reviewed this a couple years ago. And all
It was
Tawan
not
has
that
is
bad.
no, all Tawan is saying is it immediately gets outclassed by the superior sequel, which I agree because that sequel movie completely overshadows the
Oh,
original.
you're
Like,
right. I'm thinking
yes.
the reverse. You're right. You're right. You know what?
Hmm.
I take back what I said. I take back what I said. You're right.
Yeah, the original movie just I don't know. It's so odd. I've never known a movie where like the sequel just completely makes the original like not important. It's basically null and
Um,
void. Why are you here? But for Tawan's number one spot, he has Black Christmas 2019. And he says this is mostly like what I said. He says this is not a Black Christmas movie. This is an entirely different movie with Black Christmas name slapped over it, and that's it. They just wanted brand recognition. I wouldn't recommend this movie to anyone, and I feel the same way. And that's Tawan's list. But what about you, Elion? What is in your first spot? Your number one worst horror movie?
for me, the top worst horror film for me was My Bloody New Year. That was the worst shit I've ever seen. I was literally in it. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? You could see the errors that the producers made, the director, whatever you want to call them. The acting was horrible. I thought I was looking at behind the scenes over a film, and it was just so bad.
That was I was trying to do this year we've been doing themed movies. So I've been, that was one of our first themes. It was a bad movie. It was really bad.
Yeah,
I
it
tried.
was
There
horrific.
surprisingly there's not a lot of movies that center around like there's not a lot of horror movies that center around New Year's. Like you can find a shit ton of Christmas movies. Now there's a bunch of Thanksgiving movies, but like New Year's is such a weird. And for me, my number one movie, worst horror movies, is Piranha 3D. Now I love the original Piranha. It was good, it was campy, it was stupid. This movie was bad. This is when I was like, oh shit, 3D is gonna ruin film because I don't understand why this movie was in 3D. It did not need it. Like I only really watched it because I liked the original and because the guy from the Vampire Diaries was in it. And neither of those things were made it worth it.
You know what Piranha 3D reminds
What?
the sequels of Sharktopus.
I don't know what that is, and I don't plan on figuring it out. But that is our episode for this week. But join us next week for The Conjuring Last Rites, the reported last film in the Conjuring franchise or the Conjuring universe. I'm not quite sure, but I'm
Right.
pretty sure Tuan will let me know next week. But until then, good night.
If you like this episode, please be sure to check out some from the Haddonfield Horror Cemetery, where we've covered big franchises such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or one-off reviews like The Blackening or Hereditary. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms, including Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is produced by Mark Smart, Tawan Griffin, and Elian Cordova, themed by Lethal Injection, and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is a Letter to Media production.
Should we do an intro?